Participles are verb forms that can function as adjectives or adverbs, and they play an important role in sentences, providing descriptive details and expressing time. By understanding the different forms and the uses of participles, you can express yourself more fluently and accurately in Kazakh. In this video, we will explore the complex grammar topic of participles in Kazakh. So let's dive in. Participles are verb forms that are derived from verbs and function as adjectives or adverbs in a sentence. They can be used to modify nouns, provide additional information, imply how an action is performed, or signal different time differences. In Kazakh, participles are produced by adding suffixes to the verb stem, and these suffixes change depending on the tense of the verb. There are two main types of participles in Kazakh: present participle and perfect participle. Example: жылаған bala, crying child. As you can see, the participle suffix ған is added to the verb stem жыла, to cry, modifying the subsequent noun bala, child. Here the participle suffix functionally corresponds to the English ing form. In this guide, we will explore the first type of present participle in detail. The present participle, also known as an imperfect or future participle, can be used in the predicates of the main clause and the subordinate clause. It is formed by adding the suffix atın, eaten, eaten, or eaten to the verb roots. The usage rules are simple. If the verb is ended in a vowel, you add eaten or eaten, depending on its last syllable. Example: tыңдайтын, will listen, сөйлейтін, will speak. If the verb is ended in a consonant, the forms atın or eaten should be added. Example: баратын, will go, келетін, will come. The present participle can be used in the predicates of main and subordinate clauses. So, what is a main clause? A main clause, also known as independent clause, can form a sentence on its own, not dependent on other clauses. It is always finite, containing a verb that shows tense or aspect. The first function of the present participle is that the present participle atın, eaten can be used in the predicates of main clauses, expressing past habitual aspects. In this case, the verb inflected with present participle atın refers to repeated or habitual events in the past, so that it corresponds to English past habitual forms: used to do something or would do something. Let's explore that with examples. Biz dос болатынбыз, we used to be friends. Biz Алматыда тұратынбыз, we used to live in Almaty. Мен кітап оқуды жақсы көретінмін, I used to like reading books. Олар апта сайын киноға баратын, they used to go to the movies every week. Сендер бізге көмектесіп тұратынсыңдар, you used to help us. In these examples, the present participle suffix is added directly to the verb root to indicate habitual past that is used to recur in the past, and these verbs function as the predicates of the main clauses. The negation is expressed by adding the negative suffixes ma, me, ba, be, pa, pe right after the verb root, preceding the participles and the personal suffixes. Example: ол не істеуді білмейтін, he or she used to don't know what to do. Мен телевизор көрмейтінмін, I used to don't watch TV. The second function of the present participle is that it can be used in the predicates of subordinate clauses. Before exploring the usage of present participle in subordinate clauses, I think it is necessary to take a deeper look at the question, what is a subordinate clause? A subordinate clause or dependent clause cannot form a sentence on its own, so it is dependent on main clauses to form sentences. In Kazakh, subordinate clauses are mostly non-finite, which means that predicates of subordinate clauses are formed by non-finite verb forms, such as participles, verbal nouns, or infinitives and converbs that cannot show tense. There are three main types of subordinate clauses: relative clause, noun clause or complement clause, and adverbial clause. Present participle suffixes aten or eten is usually used in the predicates of relative clauses and noun clauses. A relative clause is a type of subordinate clause that modifies a noun in a sentence. A Kazakh relative clause stands before the nouns that they modify. The predicates of relative clauses can take present participles. Here the present participle suffix are functionally equivalent to the English relative pronouns who, which, or that. Let's take a look at some examples. İsteyen adam, a person who will work. Kelетін kişi, a person who will come. Biz barатын жер, a place where we will go. Men оқитын кітап, a book which I will read. In these examples, the present participle suffix is added directly to the verb root, describing the person or thing that will perform the action indicated by the verb in the future. The present participles agree with the noun that they modify in terms of numbers and case. Simply put, they can take plural suffixes, possessive suffixes, and case suffixes depending on the functions of the modified nouns. Present participle can be used in the predicates of noun clauses. A noun clause is another type of subordinate clause that acts as like a noun in a sentence. For example, I know who you are. Here, who you are is a noun clause, whose subject is you and the verb is are. In English, noun clauses start with the pronouns that, which, who, why, and so on. In Kazakh, there are no such pronouns that appear in the noun clauses. On the other hand, the predicates of noun clauses are attached by participle suffixes to show the dependency. For example, men kim keletinin bilemin. I know who would come. In this example, the subject of the noun clause is kim, who, and the verb is keletinin, of which the verb roots kel, to come, takes the present participle aten, third person possessive suffix a, and accusative case n. The main clause is men bilemin, I know. The present participle suffixes can be added to the predicates of the noun clauses to indicate that the action in question will be performed in the future. In such cases, the present participle suffixes should be followed by the possessive suffix and the case markers, depending on the function of the noun clauses to their main clauses. Let's look at those noun clause examples. Men onun biletnini senemin. I believe that he or she knows. Ol dosunun keletinin ayttı. He or she said that his or her friends would come. Sizдің onu tanıtınız ырас. It is true that you know him or her. Men осылай болатынын білгем. I knew that this would happen. In these examples, the present participle suffix aten or eten appear in the predicates of noun clauses. The possessive and the case suffixes are added after the present participles. To sum up, the present participles aten and the eten can be used in the predicates of main clauses and the subordinate clauses. When it is used in the main clause predicates, it indicates the habitual past aspects that the action is used to happen during the past. Example, men and aytatımın, I used to sing. When it is used in the predicates of subordinate clauses, it expresses that the described action will be happen in the future. Usually, present participles aten and the eten tend to occur in the predicates of relative clauses and noun clauses. Example, Men көретін film, the movie that I will watch. Biz олардың бармайтынын білдік. We knew that they wouldn't go. If you still don't get the subordinate clauses, please don't worry, we will make separate videos about them soon. I hope you enjoyed this guide and thank you for watching.